Yeah, Kristen.
Sean, thank you. Two topics I'd like to ask about. I want to start off by following up on the transgender directive. 82% of transgender children report feeling unsafe at school. So isn't the president leaving some of these children open to, vulnerable to being bullied at school?
No, I mean there are bullying laws and policies in place in almost every one of these schools.
Transgender children say
But
that
I don't think. Hold on.
experiences not
Right.
being able to use the bathroom that they feel comfortable using
But again,
makes them
you're
vulnerable
missing the
bullying.
point here, Kristen. The president said literally it should be a state decision. He respects the decision of the state, so therefore,
It's a states' rights issue.
no, that's not. You're trying to make an issue out of something that doesn't exist. It was the court who stopped this in August of last year. Okay, so where were the questions last year in August about this? It wasn't implemented correctly, legally, and the procedure wasn't followed, because the court found at the time that it didn't have the authority to do that. So you're asking us why we're following the law that wasn't followed. And the reality is, hold on. No, we're not reversing it. Hold on, we're not reversing it. That is a misinterpretation of the scenario. The court stopped it. It enjoined it in August of last year because it wasn't properly drafted and it didn't follow the procedures, and there was no legal basis for it in a law that was instituted in 1972. So hold on. For you to use those terms, frankly, doesn't reflect what the situation actually is and how it happened. That's just so. To talk about us reversing something that was stopped by the courts. No, but no, we're not. We're basically saying that it's a states' rights issue. If a state chooses to do it, as I mentioned to April, when this circumstance came up at one of the president's own properties, he was very clear about his position on this. So for you to turn around and say, what message is the president saying? Where was the message when he sent it last year? I think the message shows that he's a guy with a heart that understands the trouble that many people go through. But he also believes that the proper legal recourse for this is with the states. He believes in the states' ability to determine what's right for their state versus another state. So
I understand what you're saying, but the LGBTQ community yesterday said they felt the
I
message
understand
they were receiving is that those kids are not
there's a
being
difference
protected.
between what people may or may not feel and the legal process and the law. And the law right now doesn't allow for it under Title IX that was passed in 1972, and the procedure wasn't followed. The court saw this in August of last year for a reason, and all we're doing is saying that the proper place for this is in the states. And so for you to suggest what message is this sending, it's very simple, that it's a states' rights issue and the states should enact laws that reflect the values, principles, and will of the people in their particular state. That's it, plain and simple.